Hey, pretty people, welcome to Bouncing Brains. I'm Sean Hatfield.
And I'm Freddy G, and it's nice to be able to look at you. For you to look at, you know what the fuck I mean. We back on camera.
You ever seen those videos of when they're recording are filming the MCU movies and they're doing the Hulk scenes and it's just these giant hands and a face on a cardboard stick?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're the cardboard stick, people.
I was watching, I don't remember if it was a documentary or I was watching some shit, I think. I don't remember if it was YouTube or Netflix on basically the old school CGI, if you want to call it that. I was watching CGI on Frankenstein, but the very, very first one. And it's crazy how like you see the support, because it wasn't even, well, I mean, I don't mean to be disrespectful or whatever, but it wasn't even like, it doesn't feel like it was real, like CGI or whatever. It's just, you compare it to like today's and you see the progression of
what exactly are you talking about?
Like the whole, like in the movie, well, I mean, of course in the clip they don't show the whole movie, but like the whole, when Frankenstein like comes alive or whatever, and you can tell that I don't know if it's just that I'm used to watching like the shit that's out now, but you could just tell because I started thinking, I wonder if people back then really bought, like, and I don't mean literally bought, but I'm saying bought the idea of, oh shit, yeah, like he's really coming alive. Or I was thinking, did they really get scared? Like, cause it's supposed to be a horror thing. Like all those ideas like came like running through my head or whatever.
Right.
And I was like, and then, like I said, you compare it to like, and this is kind of like not a real good comparison, but I've seen behind the scenes of the CGI of the Avengers, and that shit is like top notch. And then I saw another one where now, and this just happened like a couple years ago. This is like within the last 5-6 years. There is a computer program, and it's one fucking program, but I've heard that it's worth like thousands of dollars. That's why the top notch studios use it. Where you know how like when you see an action movie and you see the like Will Smith or whoever falling off of an 18-wheeler and barely hanging on and shit. They used to, like, I don't know exactly how they filmed, like, before the program, but they used to, like, Will Smith at some point, or the stunt double had to get in some position and, like, on a trailer and shit like that to like, make that shot happen or whatever.
Right.
With this new program that they have, they just film the actor in whatever position they want, right? Say that they want him like laying down or like he's gonna fall or whatever. Mm-hmm. And all he needs to do is make the face like the or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then what that program does, it's like a Photoshop thing. They literally copy and paste, and they copy and paste the whole like scenery in the back, and then like they make it not that they make it move, but I'm guessing like they've already shot other shots of shit moving, so then they just paste that in the back. So what I'm saying is, now today the actor doesn't need to be like there to make that shot happen. It's just copy and paste and shit.
Right. I think the only real difference, I mean, they've been doing that for a while, but at least the last 20 years, man. The second Matrix movie where they had, what was it, 100 Hugo Weavings trying to kick the shit out of Keanu Reeves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it just looked fake as fuck. Actually, man.
No, well, see, that's what I'm saying. But what you see now, it doesn't really look fake. Like, okay, have you seen the latest Fast and the Furious movie?
No.
Oh, shit.
Not even by accident.
Well, there is some crazy ass fighting scenes in that movie, right? Those scenes were shot like that. If you look at the movie, I mean, you can see how those scenes could have been shot like realistically or whatever. But because it's in like Iceland and shit like that, like what I'm saying is those scenes were really intense. So you couldn't have really, you could have, but it was a lot easier to like use that CGI technology that they have. Especially because I was watching an interview with Tyrese, and they were asking if he had the, because he's like, you look really good in your fighting scenes. Like, did you have to learn how to, do some technique or whatever? And at first, to bullshit, he was like, yeah, I took classes here. But then he was like, nah, man, I can't leave here and like lie to y'all and shit. That was all just put through a program. And the only two big actors that have really explained it in detail that I've heard was Tyrese and Will Smith, because they did the same thing for the Bad Boys movie.
Right. Well, that a lot of that, like, was it Gemini Man? They did a shit.
I've never seen that one. Is
Neither
it good?
did I. No, I heard it was fucking horrible, man. But I did look into some of the stuff that they were doing, because I was kind of impressed with the initial trailer, and then as they started showing more footage, I was like, that doesn't look quite as good as they think it does. Because like there were a couple shots, at least in the first trailer, that the younger Will Smith, like, really, like, I mean, he damn near looked like 6 degrees of separation young. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, oh shit, that's kind of impressive. You know what I mean? Because they've been doing that de-aging shit. I'm still waiting for that Pee Wee Herman movie to come out, man. Like the next Pee Wee movie was supposed to be Paul Rubens just like completely de-aged, run through a computer program, look like a fucking cartoon. But yeah,
I never thought you would say
what?
You
Pee Wee's
waiting for the next Pee Wee Herman.
Dude, come on, man.
You
telling me that Paul Rubin didn't have some influence on your upbringing? In even the slightest way?
No. The only way, and I understand this is fucked up, but the only way, or the only thing that I have to reference with Pee Wee Herman is, jerking off in a theater, basically.
Here's the thing, man. I remember. I
mean, I'm not necessarily saying that I'm against that or that there's some wrong. Well, I mean, yeah, there's something wrong with it, but I'm not saying it because I'm not being the guy of like, ooh, that's nasty or whatever. But it, like, okay, so you see how like all these people have been complaining for years. Oh, me too. They touch me. They grab my dick or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Oh, it's perverted. All these motherfuckers like complaining and shit about that. Okay, when I think of a particular person making me feel uncomfortable, Pee Wee Herman, and it's not.
You weren't there. He didn't ask you to touch it. I mean, what he did was less than fucking Louis C.K., man.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying like what he did doesn't bother me. I don't know how to explain it.
Just the idea of that Weasley little dude sitting in a porn theater all coked up, jacking his pud.
It's not even that. What I'm saying is, okay, let me put it like this. Even if he wouldn't have done that, without me knowing him, I would not want to. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm about to say this, but like without me knowing him, without him doing anything, if I was to be in the same room with him, I would feel uncomfortable. Like it's just something about his demeanor, I guess. It makes me feel, and yeah, call me fucked up because I love to be in the same room with Louis C.K. Do I think that Louis would ask me,
okay,
hey man,
just so we're clear on this, you know the Pee Wee Herman thing's a character, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
You know, like, Paul Reubens is like a separate human being.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly,
right.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I know it's a character. I know he's...
No, but what I'm saying is if he was out of the suit, like if it was just fucking Paul Reubens, like just like, hey man, what's up?
But the face, you can't get rid of the face. See,
dude, are you telling me that you can't watch the movie Blow and separate the character Derek For Real from Pee Wee Herman? You didn't even know that was him. What did you?
No, yeah, but I love the example you gave.
Dude, because Derek For Real, look, Paul Reubens can act his fucking ass off.
Yeah. But you know what? To go back on your question, I'm going to retract a little bit. And I'm going to say you're right. I think it's the whole Pee Wee thing.
All right.
I think that's
it's like, I'll follow you on that, man. Like one of the reasons I enjoy the character as much as I do is because of the Tim Burton movie.
But I will say this.
And that shit was creepy on purpose.
It still made me feel kind of awkward. I guess that could be the word. But what he did, the role that he played in Up in Smoke, I thought it was good.
All right, I think that
or Still Smoking, either one.
I think it was next. He was in two separate movies. He was in Nice Dreams, where he played the crazy dude, the one that was like I'm sorry, I took your money. I'm not sorry.
No. The one where he's the hotel clerk.
Okay, yeah, he's also a stand-up comic in that one. Where they
the horrible one too. So
that's when Chong is running around with
the bag of weed.
Hillbilly cousin
and the big ass duffel bag of weed or whatever.
Yeah, dude. Oh man,
we're rich, man.
Yeah, that's next movie, man. That one's a great one, man.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking hilarious.
Cheech is back at the place trying to get laid the whole night. Okay. To be honest, and that's actually an early iteration of the Pee Wee Herman character, man. Like the stage act that he's doing in that movie is the early stage act for Pee Wee Herman.
No, I get it. I that's what I'm saying. Now I retract a little bit, and I think it's just like the character. Like, okay, let me put it to you like this. Maybe this part you won't understand because you don't have kids, but
you're worried about creepy old guys. I understand.
I wouldn't be comfortable with my daughter watching, like, what was the show called? Didn't he have a show? It was called Pee Wee's World. That shit. See, I was gonna say Pee Wee's World. Yeah, but I don't know. It's okay. Let me compare it like this. Another one that creeped me out that was kind of fucking weird to me. And I understand if I'm the weird one, I get it. But do you ever remember watching that stupid ass show, Blue's Clues?
I know what you're talking about, but no, I never. I was.
Did you ever at least see one trailer or one?
I've seen clips. I'm familiar with the format.
Okay, that guy, yeah, that guy he trips me the fuck out. Like I was like, dude, like,
okay, man, dude.
And then I found out that years later he was fired from the show because he was smoking pot, like on set or some shit.
I've heard a lot of stories, man. About
the same reason that the Dell guy, the Dell guy got fired. Remember the Dell guy?
Yeah, I remember the Dell guy.
He that dude. A lot of people don't know. Y'all can go back and Google it. That dude was actually, he was liked so well, so much by Dell. And he fit the part so perfect that at one point, they had offered him a contract that was going to set him up for like years, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then because he was, I don't remember if he was just caught like in a, like he came out dirty in a drug test or if he did something publicly where he was.
It may have been publicly. I'm sitting here trying to remember because he did a couple of films and I don't remember what. I don't think that's Sawa. Was it the dude that was in?
I'll be honest with you. I didn't even know that he had done films. I thought he just did I know he did a couple of different commercials. Before he landed with Dell, like that long contract with Dell.
Oh man, I'm completely wrong. Wait, no, I take it back. He did do something. Let's see. Movies. Yeah, he did do movies. What's the earliest one here? Yeah, I'm just seeing all kinds of weird shit. But fuck it, yeah, dude did have a career afterwards, eventually. Maybe get some TV.
A lot of people don't understand, man. Like a lot of people don't understand. Can you give me a little bit more gain or volume?
Motherfucker, there's only so far I can turn this shit up. Somebody will leave some comments and down below. Tell Freddy put his balls on in the morning. Talk into a microphone properly. Enunciate.
A lot of people don't know, dude, that whether you're a voiceover actor or whether you're an actual like commercial actor, like especially I'm talking about like commercials. People don't understand, like the people that have made it on to like having a recurring role, even if it's different commercials for like different companies. These people have already, by the time you hear them in a commercial on TV, they've had an extensive resume in acting. Now, not necessarily movies. I'm not saying movies, but they've been doing the acting thing for a while. Like it doesn't happen to where like you audition for your first or second role as voiceover, you're hired and you're on TV now. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. Like there is a process. There's a process that you go through. Like there is so many times, there's so many people that get hired for like commercial roles or whatever. They get hired, they film the commercial, they get paid for the commercial, and then that commercial never sees the light of day. So I actually experienced that once. I got hired by a local, can I say it? Yeah, I think I can. I got hired by a local, lawyer. I'll say that much. I'm not going to mention the name because I don't know if I can. I got hired by a lawyer. We filmed a commercial. We went through the whole thing. We signed disclosure. We signed paperwork. Filmed the commercial. I got paid, and then he told me. But he told me, he was like, if you get picked up, if the commercial gets picked up and we used it, you're gonna get paid more.
Yeah.
And then you'll get paid every time the commercial airs or whatever. Long story short, I filmed the commercial, got paid the initial fee, and that was that. The commercial was never picked up, but right. You know, I got paid for it. That happens a lot. Like, and people don't understand. They think that, I know because I have friends. He's like, that tell me, he's like, dude, why don't you just become a voiceover actor? All you got to do is audition.
Well, okay, like, it doesn't. Voiceover and like video acting, two separate things. Man.
No, well, I mean, they're two separate things, but they kind of follow the same model as far as like what I'm telling you. Like when you do acting for a commercial, like video, mm-hmm. Like it's kind of sort of a separate process, because I've auditioned for both. Mm-hmm. I actually, believe it or not, like a couple years ago, I auditioned for a voiceover commercial for Arby's, and yeah, I didn't feel comfortable being in a dark room.
Certain things you regret in life,
saying you got the meat, yeah. Anyway, I auditioned for that. apparently, obviously, I didn't get the part. And back in 2007, 2008, I auditioned for a commercial for a cell phone company. It was a Japanese cell phone company that was trying to break in basically the American market. And I went and everything, auditioned, and I didn't get the part. It's a different process as far as like auditioning and stuff like that. But as far as the model for the process of getting picked up and shit like that, it's kind of it's a little different. And the only thing that I'm trying to point out with this whole fucking explanation is that whether it be a commercial on video or a commercial voiceover, it's not like you walk in there 1, 2, or 3 times and you're hired and you have a voiceover career and shit. There's a lot of people that don't that audition like myself and that never make it to see to see a voiceover role. And I'm not even gonna get started with like people that have reoccurring roles with like cartoons and shit like that. Yeah. I very recently, by very recently, I mean a couple years ago, I didn't know that the actor for Snoopy, there's an actor that plays Snoopy. Well, he gets paid, and I was like, Snoopy doesn't talk. I was like, I don't remember him talking.
There are a few vocalizations, but yeah, Snoopy does not talk.
And I was like, how I was like, I would have loved to fucking, if I can't get that role. Yeah, like there's this cartoon. I related to the Snoopy thing because there's this cartoon that my daughter watches. It's called Pete the Cat, and Pete. I don't know if you've ever heard about it, but
no, motherfucker, I ain't got no goddamn reason to be watching kids' cartoons at this point.
Pete the Cat.
Unless it's made by a bunch of drug addicts that just do some weird shit, put penises in the background just because they can.
Pete the Cat is the same thing. Like this fucking... Oh, and it's my daughter's favorite character. No fucking idea why. She runs around with a fucking Pete the Cat doll.
Okay, good to know she's moved on from Vampirina or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, exactly. So, but this fucking thing doesn't talk, bro. Like, dude, I saw like 4 episodes because I was stuck there with her. And the cat does not say a word. It's just mannerisms. Well, okay, I take it back. The cat, what it does is the cat does mannerisms, and then there's a narrator in the back. But the narrator tells you what the cat is thinking. Pete thinks that, and that's how he says it. Pete thinks that we should try this. And I was like, why can't just fucking
Is
Pete
your child watching Russian propaganda?
I don't know, bro. At this point, I don't know what. But I'll be honest with you. She's into...
Pete is slightly okay with Vladimir Putin's foreign diplomacy.
She's into some weird shit, bro. Like she watches, and this is no bullshit. I don't even know how she found him, because we didn't show him to her. And I asked her mom. She was like, I don't show her that either. She watches Italian cartoons on YouTube in Italian, and she's there like laughing. And I've told her, I was like, I've told my kid, I was like, you don't know what they're saying, bro. Stop bullshit. And it pisses me off sometimes because it's like, but what trips me out is that by herself, she is able to get on YouTube and she finds Italian cartoons, like in Italian, you know what I'm saying? So it trips me, and she's like completely entertained by them. She'll sometimes watch them for hours before she switches back to English. Her mom laughs because every now and then when she does it, and then I hear, because she likes to have the fucking phone full blast, that I hear the English come back on, and I was like, oh, okay, good. Well, you switched it back to America. Cool. Let's stay in America for a little bit.
Maybe you've just got a budding fascist. Look, give her some room. Let her grow. Yeah, man, I don't know why the fuck you would leave your child unattended with YouTube, man. I mean, granted,
she doesn't use the regular YouTube. She uses the...
Dude, I know I can show you a video right now that is labeled for kids that will show up on that goofy fucking app of theirs that I guarantee you don't want your daughter watching.
Yeah. And we've me and her mom have talked about it, but her mom, and I believe her because her mom works from home. Right. But her mom says that every time, and I'm glad that her mom's also very diligent about it. She's like, I let her be when she's on her phone, but I'm never literally too far physically when she's watching. And every now and then she's like, I'll peek just to see what she's watching or whatever. And like I said, everything that my daughter watches, she, for whatever reason, she watches really loud. So it's like, I don't have trouble.
You can hear exactly what's going on the screen.
So I know what she's watching, whatever. So yeah, and I know she does because her mom is very diligent with that. I was against the fact that we gave her a phone, like, and we didn't even, it's not like we bought her a phone, but she just took my old one and she like just took over it. She took over it when I had it, and then she broke it. Like, she broke like half the screen. So I was like, fuck, I'm just gonna get a new one. And she just kept that one. But now, she literally just asked me herself. She was like, Daddy, a new phone. She wants me to buy her. I was like, I'm not buying you a phone. I was like, who are you gonna call?
I'm assuming you said that after drop kicking her across the room.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man.
Sorry, baby. That was just a reflex.
Pretty much, dude. I was going somewhere with this shit, though. We were talking
Italian
about
cartoons.
We were talking about acting. We were talking about acting.
Started off talking about the Dell dude getting fired for weed. What was the one before that?
The Pee-wee's.
Okay, yeah,
Playhouse.
Pee-wee got fired for jerking off.
Yeah. No, didn't he do that way after? There wasn't that incident way after, or is that?
Yeah, actually, it may have been. It may have been after they stopped Pee-wee's Playhouse. So, because I'm trying to remember exactly what the time frame for Pee-wee's Playhouse, because it was late 80s. It was like 88 to like 90 or 88, 89. I don't know. Dude, you ever seen Lawrence Fishburne on there? Cowboy Curtis?
On where?
Pee-wee's Playhouse?
No, for real?
All right, first of all, anybody listening to this, you ain't never seen Cowboy Curtis. Look that shit up. That is hilarious. Especially if you respect Lawrence Fishburne as an actor. Oh, he's got a Jerry curl that is hilarious.
Oh, man, he killed that role. The first time I saw him act was, I want to say, and I know you're going to make fun of me, but I want to say the first time I saw him act was Boys in the Hood. And he absolutely bodied that role. He played an awesome role in that fucking movie.
It's not the best picture, but gives you an idea.
Damn, bro. And he was skinny, too.
Wasn't that old, man? He was probably, that was, what, his 20s, maybe?
No, I say he was skinny.
I'm saying, man, younger. He put on, like, you can watch him get larger as a man.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. He was skinny as fuck too in Boys in the Hood as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when I saw him again, when did I see him again that I was like, holy shit, dude, this dude blew up. And I meant like blew up as in like physically. Right Along with Kevin Hart and Ice Cube. I was like, what the fuck, bro? Like, well, I mean, he wasn't too fat, but he was big.
Well, you've seen the last John Wick movie, right?
No. The last three?
3, yeah.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, he's in that one. He's rather larger than he normally is, man. He's honestly, he looks like somebody's dad. Like he's an older dude, man.
But he's fat.
Yeah, man. Most older dudes get fat.
But Denzel Washington's not fat.
Denzel Washington's got more. I'll tell you what. Denzel Washington has better tailors. Go back and watch that last. Was it The Enforcer?
The Equalizer.
Equalizer. There you go.
I did. I just saw it. Like,
look, I'm not saying the motherfucker's fat. I'm just saying like the motherfucker is cushioned.
But I will say that age is finally starting to. You can. I'm not saying he looks old. I don't think he looks old. He still doesn't look his age, but I feel that he's starting to. You're starting to see like
I know what you're saying, man. Like I remember maybe the early aughts when he started getting like the gray, like he would stop dyeing his hair and you'd see him like out at the award shows with like the gray streaks and salt and pepper and all that. And it was like, are you adding highlights to your hair? It just doesn't look right, man. Like his face still had like the youthfulness.
Yeah.
Now he's starting to get like you said, man, he looks his age.
Yeah. And you know who definitely does not fucking look their age, and I don't know how the fuck they do it? Eddie, bro. Eddie has not skipped a fucking beat. I was watching an interview with Eddie that was supposedly shot like a month ago. And recently, 2 weeks ago too, I saw that fucking movie, Daddy Daycare. Right. And this movie was like 13 years ago. Dude, you compare both shots, looks exactly the same. And I'm talking about, because the first thing I look at when I want to reference age is the face. Fuck the body. You can fix the body. Look at the face.
I get what you're saying, man. There was, all right. I think
I think it runs in the family because, Charlie also fucking looked young. Like Charlie looked fucking young as fuck.
It's in the forehead, man. Like go back and watch the first Beverly Hills Cop movie, and then watch the third Beverly Hills Cop movie, and like some point in those years, because that was like what, maybe 80. Well, it was like 7 years between like the first one and the third one. Right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying like you look at him in the third one, and there was an aging between that, but like since then, yeah, man, it's been, but like I'm saying, it's like in the forehead, like he doesn't have wrinkles, he just has like the skin folds a little, there's more folds, it's not as smooth. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like they're not hard wrinkles, which to be honest, if I can shoot for that, keep enough collagen in the blood supply so the skin doesn't start folding over like weak paper, that's
but honestly, dude, I also think that has a lot to do with culture. With culture, because with culture a lot of the times comes lifestyle,
right?
And whether you want to admit it or not, smoking ages the fuck out of you.
Yeah,
that's why I'm like one of the most perfect examples. That's why I feel that I've always looked older than I've always been. Mm-hmm. But because I've been fucking smoking since I was 12. So literally. So
don't.
I mean, I don't smoke anymore, but
it does have an effect. But I think lifestyle was the key word there, because most people that continue, and I'm guilty of this too a lot of the time, man. The smoking goes hand in hand with a lot of other life choices as far as not paying attention. It's like, I could eat a salad, or I could go have a cigarette, and cigarette wins. Or sometimes you have a cigarette and you go, fuck a salad, I'm going to have a cheeseburger. I'm going to have a triple vodka. But yeah, man, my understanding was Eddie Murphy got like healthy real fucking like early 90s. Like he just started like switching up lifestyle and all that. Matter of fact, I think there's some clips out there with Charlie Murphy where he's like, man, I'm trying to get this motherfucker to, have a drink with me or something. And he's like,
I remember he was doing an interview with Jerry Seinfeld, and Eddie, that's how as an actor, I feel, because I'm not an actor, but that's how I feel, that as an actor you can really, that you've basically done it all. He was talking to Jerry Seinfeld, and he dropped like the biggest, like most gangsterous fucking answer in the world. He's like, Jerry asked him, so what does Eddie do nowadays? That's all he asked. Well, what does Eddie do? And Eddie said, nothing. He's like, he's like, but you don't go out, you don't call someone. He's like, no, I'm just at my house. He's like, you're there in that big house, just like alone. And he's like, well, there's people, but not many people. I just like to sit. And he's like, but what do you like to do, man? Like, do you write? Like, are you? He's like, no, I drink coffee and tea sometimes. That's about it. And I was like, but when he would, that's literally how he said it. But when I really like dissected like his demeanor and what he was saying, I understood what he meant. He meant to tell, and I'm pretty sure Jerry did too, but he meant to tell Jerry, like, I don't have to do anything anymore. Like, I'm good. I'm happy. I'm completely content where I'm at now. Like, and I also got the idea that he was like in between lines trying to tell Jerry, I'm trying to keep as much stress away from me as I possibly can. You know what I'm saying? And I just felt like when you reach that that, I don't even want to say level of celebrity, but financial stability is what I was looking for. When you reach that financial stability, like, you can literally afford to, do that or whatever. And then for the people that said, because I know a couple friends like used to say, well, Eddie ain't done a movie in years or whatever. He ain't done shit in years, which is true. But I told them, Eddie doesn't have to act. Like, if he doesn't want to, he doesn't have to act like the rest of his fucking life. He's done so many timeless fucking characters and roles that he's good. With Shrek, bro, he was set for, in my opinion, he was set for life. You know what I'm saying? But like he when you have timeless roles like that and characters, like you're good. And then one of my friends said, he's like, he hasn't acted in years, so I don't think Eddie has the same Eddie anymore. Like, basically he said that he thought that he wouldn't cut it with like today's actors anymore. And I just laughed, bro, and I was like, bro, you don't know who Eddie Murphy is. Literally 2 weeks after that conversation, bam, Netflix dropped
the trailer for Coming to America.
No, Dolomite.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, I watched that bitch as soon as it came out. And then I called my friend. I was like, watch this. It's like, nah, bro, I'm not gonna like. I was like, watch the fucking movie. So, he watched it. A day later, he calls me back and he's like, "Hey, man, I'm man enough to take back what I said about Eddie." He was like, motherfucker, he murdered that role." And it's just like Eddie's one of those few, like, human beings that he was just, like, that's what he was put here to do. Like that, like, acting and comedy was what you could tell, bro, that was his calling. That will, I mean, because it's really hard.
Well, think about it this way, man. The come up for Eddie Murphy and Dave Chappelle is not that dissimilar in that when they were like young teenagers, they were already actively pursuing not just the comedy, but like just being in the business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
well, I mean, the only different
what I'm getting at is this, man. Like, and circumstance, by luck of the draw, they happen to have, you know, people around them that were allowing them that opportunity to be doing that at a young age. Whereas with Chappelle, he stuck with the comedy, and I mean, dude, look, and don't get me wrong, there was never, even when people were like, man, Chappelle disappeared, he was like, no, he was still doing shit.
Yeah.
But there were a couple years there where even he says he was like, he wasn't doing it, he wasn't writing and shit, but when he came back, so ingrained, he just hit the ground running. But with Eddie, man, he got real early, started getting the stage work, got SNL. I mean, what was he, fucking,
he was
like 19 when
19.
I mean, ridiculous fucking, but allowed to pursue directly that craft that he, you know, he went into the film, started doing the acting, tried to become a fucking action hero and shit. You know what I mean? Still funny as fuck, dude. The Beverly Hills Cops movies
my God.
are fucking great.
I can watch those movies over. I mean, I will say, out of the three, my favorite is the third. Out of all three, the third.
I still like the first one, but I know what you mean. Like the third one is just real easy to watch. Like they've got, it's like the Lethal Weapon movies, man. Like the first one still, like you can go back and go like, okay, I can imagine if I'd never seen these movies before and watching this one for the first time in the theater, it would have a different bite to it.
Yeah.
But like the later movies, they still fucking hold up. They're easy to fucking watch. Still think they need to bring Joe Pesci back, but that's me.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I agree with that. It's just I can't, again, we're talking about age. I mean, Joe's still a good actor. I believe he's still a good actor. He still got it, but it's just he's older now.
I'll not lie, man. The Irishman was not my favorite Scorsese movie, but I really enjoyed Pesci in that one, man.
Fuck
like,
yeah, dude.
You forget that he can do quiet real fucking well.
Yeah. Now, and you might want to fact check me on this because I need to go back and research it properly, I think. But remember this scene in The Irishman where they're at the bar and Joe's character is talking to De Niro's character, and they're talking about the deal that's coming up with Jimmy Hoffa. Anyway, the main point that I want to point out there is a part in that scene where they fluently start talking Italian, right? Okay, fun fact there. One, for the people that don't know, that's real Italian. Like, it's not gibberish. Like, they are speaking Italian. That's why you see like subtitles or whatever.
Right.
But from what I understand, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, De Niro and Pesci both had to learn Italian to shoot that scene and carry that conversation. And they had to like learn it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't remember, and this is where I'm not clear. I'm not too sure. I don't remember if they both didn't know how to speak Italian, or I think one of the two didn't know how to speak
De
fluent.
Niro's one of those weird guys, man, that has, like, look, man, you can think what you want about him personally, because every once in a while he just says some shit and you go, you just keep it to yourself, Donnie. But the amount of things that he has learned as an actor, because I think he did some movies in French. If you go back and watch the Godfather Part 2, he does speak Italian in that, but it's very, like, if you're listening to everybody else that's speaking Italian on screen and then you're listening to him, it doesn't quite.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, what's his name? Frank in Scarface.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But what part with Frank in Scarface?
Fucking.
Or what are you pointing out, that he spoke another language?
There's a couple scenes where, like, he says something in Spanish and it's like, huh?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember because he's talking to one of the dudes when Tony first walks in, but I don't remember.
Yeah, and he also, there's one when they're at the disco, and he leans over, and he tells him something. Yeah.
I mean, I think only because Pacino was just being Pacino that you just kind of glance over it and you go, Brian De Palma.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I could totally see De Niro being one of those guys that knew Italian and then just forgot it. Like,
okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like
just being so old that it's like, great example, man, is I've talked to some people that like used to be like, what's the word, polyglot or whatever, you know, they could speak like 3 or 4 languages. Yeah. And at this point they're, 60, 70 years old. And it's like, nah, not a fucking word. But going back to Eddie, man, what I was getting at, man, like you're talking about, like, okay, he's comfortable at this point, he doesn't have to do anything. I wonder if it's maybe just like nobody's giving him anything that's interesting. Because think about it, like, all right, we've talked about this on here. But I will still defend. I'll still defend Norbit. Like, don't get me wrong, not the greatest movie in the world, man, but he was trying something there. Yeah. Like people was like, all right, while I do not like the Clump movies, like I kind of appreciate what he was doing there with the character, kind of exploration, which I think he really got to do in Norbit. Yeah. Like just going off the wall, I'm going to play every motherfucker in this fucking movie type of shit. Yeah. And he got shit on so much for that movie, which I don't think he deserved, man. And I think he just kind of he was like, I'm good. Because he was acting pretty steady up until then. And then he maybe did 1 or 2 after that and then kind of took like a 10-year hiatus. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he had a whole bunch of kids, but so that's what he was doing.
He had the kids the whole time, man.
No, but he had more kids, is what I'm saying.
Fair enough.
No, I get what you're saying, but what I was gonna say to that was that that's exactly what I meant. Like when you reach that point in your career to where you can, like, another thing about Eddie is that I love is that he doesn't do things for money. Like what I mean is, like, if they offer him a role, like you were saying, he could like pick and choose and be like, no, because I don't see myself like that. I don't, you know what I'm saying?
Well, we can all admit Daddy Daycare was a weird fucking choice, man. And there were a couple in that same time frame that it was like,
nah. No, and I'll defend my answer by saying this. So you look at Daddy Daycare, look at the role that Eddie played in Daddy Daycare, right? Now, look at, and I've only seen this fucking movie that I'm going to mention once, and I was like, ugh, I should have never done that. Then you look at Daddy Day Camp, which was supposed to be the sequel to...
the one where they brought in Cuba Gooding.
Yes. And let's be real, the only reason that they brought him in was because Eddie turned it down, because Eddie wanted more money, they didn't want to pay him more money, so on and so forth.
Right.
So look at those two movies. My point is that Eddie embodied that role like he does every other role. Now, I'm not saying that Cuba Gooding is not a good actor. He is. He's a very good actor. I mean, he's done roles that I was like, dude, you're not for that role. I'll give you some examples so you can see the contrast. Him and Boys in the Hood, that fits him perfect in my point of view. Him and Daddy Day Camp, hell no. That was a mistake by whoever cast it or whatever.
Yeah, man, trying to fit him into a hole that, an Eddie Murphy shaped hole. That's just a wrong choice.
Exactly. But the other one,
and the fucked up part is there were a lot of young comedians that probably could have done something with. It's kind of like fucking when they brought in Jamie fucking the hell was his name? The guy that did the Mask sequel.
Oh, I don't remember because I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. It was the wrong. They were just
the son of the Mask is
yeah, they were just like, this guy's young and funny. It was like, you're trying to fill a Jim Carrey shaped hole and this ain't the right one.
Yeah, no. So back to Cuba Gooding. The role that he played as Nicky Barnes in American Gangster.
Yeah.
Nah, I just felt. I mean, he played the role. What I'm saying is, could somebody have done a better job? For sure. I just feel I've seen that movie about 6 or 7 times, literally now, and I just it's not. It doesn't fit him. Because he doesn't have. I don't know what it is. He just didn't fit that role.
Okay, let me throw this at you, man. I think. Let's say just easy swap here. You swap Idris Elba and Cuba Gooding Jr. To be honest, just from having seen the documentaries on Nicky Barnes, I think Elba would have been physically a more fit, because the guy was not a small man.
Yeah.
But I don't know if, and not to say that Idris Elba is not a great actor, man, but he's for some reason, when he's doing English, when he's doing an American accent, he's not as good. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just not there.
No, but I've been trying to think then who would fit that role in that movie.
But I'm saying, man, whereas I kind of get what you're saying as far as him, he does not look like Nicky Barnes.
No, it's not that it's not just that he doesn't look like him. I could deal with him not look. It's just the role. Okay, I'm saying it backwards. Cuba Gooding did not fit that role. Not visually. Mm-hmm. I mean visually too, but visually didn't bother me as much as everything else. Like the embodiment. I don't know if you understand what I mean by embodying the role. Like he did not.
I do understand what you mean by, like I said, he's not Nicky Barnes in that movie, but yeah. I do think that he is the character that
Perfect example. Two kind of sort of parallels here, but not, perfect example. I keep forgetting the actor's name because he's not a known actor. The guy that played Dr. Dre in the NWA biopic. You look at Dre, you look at Dr. Dre, and you look at him physically, again, not tat for tat, but as far as that kid, because he's a new actor, embodying that Dr. Dre role, I honestly can't think of another actor that's established that would have done a better job. Whoever casted him casted him. I keep forgetting his fucking name. To the T. The guy that played Eazy-E in that movie, which is now the main actor of The Shy. That dude killed. You look and with Eazy-E, you can look back at some of the Eazy-E pictures. You look at the mannerisms. You look at the way he spoke. He killed that shit. Perfect example with another. And this is the crazy part about it, bro. The actor that played Tupac in the Tupac biopic, this dude had never, I mean, as far as I can remember and what I read, this dude had never acted a day in his life. I mean, he says that he took classes and shit like that, but as far as like an acting resume, never. He used to work at Target, bro. Before the role of in the Tupac movie,
okay,
he worked at Target. He was I don't know if he was a manager or something at Target. But you look again. Oh, and but the thing that sold him is that you look at him, dude, like especially like from vertically or a side profile, he looks identical to Tupac. Like, okay,
here's where I think we're talking at cross purposes, man. Is you're talking about, all right, if they were doing a straight biopic, I would agree. I would expect a better resonance from the actor. But as I was trying to get to, man, it's a Ridley Scott movie. He's not making a movie like the movie's not about Nicky Barnes and fucking Frank Lucas.
I get that. But
what I'm saying, I disagree with you only in the fact that I think because of the way that Washington was playing Lucas in that movie, or at least the character of Lucas in that movie, I think that Gooding was the right foil to that. You know what I mean? Like
I understand 100% what you're saying, and I've understood you from the jump. Mm-hmm. And I will go on record so you can understand where I'm coming from. I will say I strongly believe that Gooding was not the right anything for that role. Other than he was black, as far as like, and I'm being halfly sarcastic.
I think he pulled off brash shithead pretty fucking well in that movie, man.
Yeah, but it didn't. It didn't fit. Like if you go back and you watch, even if you watch, because I don't know him personally, of course, but even if you watch like older clips of Nicky Barnes in interviews, you can't so much now because he's witness protection and whatnot. But right. It's a different story. But even if you go watch those interviews, you compare, like,
dude, again, I'm saying, man, I think if, don't get me wrong, at this point, I was saying about Elba, I don't think he does an American accent that well. I think he's gotten better at it. If they were going to do a straight biopic on Nicky Barnes,
who would you choose?
I'm telling you, Idris Elba would fucking nail the fuck out of it. That brash fucking, like, over arrogance and just like the hugeness of character. I think Elba would kill that shit. But it would take a good director and a good script. Yeah. But for that role in that movie, I don't think it would have worked. Not in a Ridley Scott movie. Because of the way that he was choosing, him and Washington were choosing to portray Lucas. The flat affection, there was no, like, not completely emotionless, but the muted, way that he was interacting with other characters. I think the way that Gooding was basically playing a cartoon villain, and fucking Washington got to play the straight man against that. And I don't know if somebody who was playing closer to reality would have had the same effect. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Sometimes you got to make shit up.
So a question to pivot.
I'll tell you what. Do you want to start a new conversation or?
Well, it was kind of sort of with it. Well, I mean, it still has to do with movies.
Drop it on me.
But from remakes, just movie remakes, right? I mean, go as far as back as you can think of with remakes. What movies, if they're plural, did you find the remake, not the original, the remake better than the original? And if you say none, I respect it. I mean, I don't think you'll say none, but if you do, I respect it.
A solid remake
that was better than the original. Please don't say Halloween.
What? Those are the two separate movies, man. I've already had that conversation with horror geeks. Like the original Halloween from the 70s, and I can appreciate that for what it is. I do prefer the Rob Zombie movie, but it's a different movie. Like the very fact that she fucking shoots him at the end and he's dead is an important fucking factor for me. Because it goes from being almost supernatural, kind of like, what is Michael Myers? It's like, no. He's a huge, crazy asshole that somebody needed to walk up and put a bullet in his fucking head. Yeah. Different movie. But I do enjoy that one. Man, I'm trying to think, and like, it's... There's a few little geeky things that are really like, somebody will make a version of a book, you know what I mean? They'll do a film version of a novel, and then somebody else will do a different version that's not really the same.
No, but I mean movie like for movie.
A direct remake. That's what I'm trying to figure, and
I'll give you where my head's at.
Yeah. Let me give me a minute to sit on this.
Scarface. I've seen both, and the Pacino remake was, and I'll tell you another thing, because I've read, and I hope and I pray to God that they never make it, because they're trying to make a remake of the remake. They're trying to remake Scarface, but they want to fucking stick Johnny Depp. And Johnny Depp did a great job in Blow. But again, two different. One was a real gangster. I get it. I understand. Scarface was a fictional character, kind of, sort of. But kind of what you were saying earlier. You can't fill that Pacino hole. You can't. And then if you were to be able to pull off to Pacino, then I don't even know why you would do it. But if for some retarded reason you were able to pull off for Pacino to pull off like a remake, he would, again, I feel that he would be the only one to be able to do it. I would never want to.
I'm trying to remember, the Cagney version took place in Chicago or New York?
Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah, Chicago.
Because like I'm sitting
because they did a lot of references to not directly, but Capone. So Chicago.
Well, right. The bootlegging and the gangsters and shit. Dude, it's been years since I've seen that movie.
And I've only seen the original Scarface. I've only seen twice. I want to say 3 times. The remake I've seen, it's my favorite fucking movie.
But here's what because the only through line is basically the motherfucker that's so crazy that like he eats his own fucking people, basically. You know what I mean? He's just the devouring.
And it's my favorite movie of all time, like above every other movie. And I know that's for people that's hard to take judgment on. But to me, it is my favorite and has been my favorite of all time. But people need to understand why I say that it's my favorite. I say it's my favorite because up until a couple years ago, that was the only movie that showed you vividly the rise, the reign, and the fall of a drug lord. Like from scraps to drug lord, and they actually showed you the fall. A lot of movies just show you rise, reign, and that was. But then, of course, I get it. Then came American Gangster. Then came, movies like that.
We've had this conversation before. I'm a much bigger fan of Carlito's Way. Like,
yeah, I remember. Yeah, and Carlito's Way is a good movie. Again, in my personal opinion, it doesn't match up with Scarface. I see the comparison. I guess I see it clearly, but it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess because the other, I don't know if I said this before. I guess because the other reason it fucks with me because for some reason, when I'm watching Carlito's Way, I can't get the thought of Desperado out of my head.
Why?
It's weird. I don't know why. I watched that one and I keep thinking, like, not that I compare it, but it just brings Desperado to my like inner thought, and and then once I think about it, as I'm watching Carlito's Way, I keep fucking thinking of Desperado, and it fucks with me, and I can't seem to watch the movie comfortably.
I get it. You don't respect Puerto Ricans. Just say that, man.
No, well, I mean, I love Puerto Ricans. I love Puerto Ricans. I really do. Yeah, but no, I don't know why, man. I don't know why that's always happened. But I like the story. I like the way it was directed. I like the way the story was told. The acting's pretty good. It's just, I feel, another thing that I feel with that movie, I felt that it needed more butter to it. Kinda, sorta, like the butter that Desperado had. You know what I'm saying? That Desperado movie with Antonio Banderas, the way it was shot, for the time it was shot in.
Right.
You got to remember, the time it was shot in, the way it was shot, the way it was directed, it was beautiful to me. My dad hates it. He thinks it was horrible. He was like, it's a horrible fucking movie.
Has he seen any of the other two?
Nah, I don't. Well, I'm not sure.
Okay. Because that's a weird, even as a fan of Robert Rodriguez, like, that's a weird series. Don't get me wrong, I love the fuck out of Desperado because I got dragged into that movie as a kid. I didn't know what the fuck it was. Yeah. And like, I was there with a bunch of very uncomfortable adults because as soon as the titties and the guns were coming, or even the shit in the beginning, you know what I mean, with the jokes at the bar.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sitting there going,
oh man, that joke, yeah. that joke is a classic, bro. That fucking joke. I've heard so many different, since that movie, I've heard so many different versions of that joke, like being told or whatever. But I guess this is a good part to cap the first hour. Did we go past the first hour?
Yeah, we're coming up at the limit right now. So yeah, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. And we're back.
We are back. Back again.
Like motherfucking Carter up in this bitch.
Yup. So yes, dude. Fucking man, I get carried away talking about fucking movies and shit. I don't know why. No, actually it's probably because I'm a real big movie bum.
I genuinely wonder if there are, like, don't be wrong, I've had some interesting conversations with like younger folks, like early 20s, shit like that, about like movies, but it's not the same connection. It's almost like a
wait. I'm sorry. Run that statement again.
I don't think like the generation that's come up in like the last 20 years. Like, I don't think the movies have the...
No, they're different.
The tie.
No, because Because
like I know that argument can be made the same for
because you just said it. The movies that have been making, and you actually hit the nail on the head, I feel. Because if you look at the movies that were made like exactly within the last 20 years to the even 10 years before the last 20 years. Okay, let me put this in a better comparison. Look at the movies that were made from 1990, maybe even 1989 to 2000, right? And then look at the movies that were made from 2000 to 2020, right?
Right.
Again, personal opinion, the comparison is like night and day. They're different. They're
okay. I'm not when I talk about like the difference though, man. I'm not talking tonally. Like, don't get me wrong. There's changes in the craft. Like people are doing things differently. The movies look differently just because of the actual technology that's being used to film it. Type of cameras, the switch from the film to digital. I mean, shit, dude, it's still kind of impressive every once in a while when you see a movie that is actually shot on film and you can see like one of the reasons Hateful Eight is one of my favorite fucking Tarantino movies, dude, man, is just how fucking beautiful that movie is, man.
Yeah, dude.
Like don't get me wrong.
Fucking movie's awesome.
You say beautiful and then you show that to some, soft-hearted individual and they go, like, yeah, don't get me wrong. It's brutally
It's
violent.
just like the other one. And again, I compare Hateful Eight to this one. I absolutely loved Django. It was beautiful. Now I get it. Just kind of like you said, I get it. The context of the movie's fucked up. I get it, but the way the movie was shot, the acting, oh my god, the Samuel L. Jackson's role, oh my god, dude.
Yeah,
we we all know a crusty old man like that.
That scene where he fucking like he calls DiCaprio's character into and he's got like the cognac in the glass.
Yeah.
It's like, they ain't here for no Mandingo, and you're like, oh shit. We just found the real villain.
And yeah, dude, it was just, what I was saying, the way the movie was shot, the way the movie was directed, and the way the plot was set up, it was just, to me, it was beautiful. Now, I get it. Context to most people is fucked up. But that's what I'm saying. I feel we're growing up in a very brittle society. Like, people forget this shit actually happened. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't. I'm not saying it happened word for word. I'm just saying.
And I'll say this as a fan of Tarantino and as somebody who the first time, like, Django didn't click with me the first time I watched it. I was expecting more of the tone from like Inglourious Bastards, which eventually he did do the Western thing with Hateful Eight, which is, I think that movie just hit the tone that I kind of wanted to see from him at that point. Whereas Django is a much different movie. Like, it's like, okay, it's a Western and it's much more of a comic book. It's much more comparable to Kill Bill than it is to Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And once you get that, it clicks. You go, okay, fine, I'm in. I'm on for the ride.
It was so fucking enjoyable, dude. Like that again, and it's kind of I'm not comparing side by side. Again, I'm comparing the storytelling, is because that's what I'm intrigued by when it comes to. I'm just different, bro. when it comes to movies, comedy, I like, and I mean comedy is in stand-up comedy. I like storytelling. I like tell me something, not necessarily something I don't know. I mean, if you can tell me something I don't know, it's great. But tell me something different is what I'm saying. Show me something different. So what I'm saying is, that's why I was upset. I would get upset when people were talking shit about the Irishman on the fact that it was too long. And I was like, bro, you don't get it. Like, you need to fucking pay attention to the story. There is a reason. Like, people still, I guarantee you, people to this day don't understand when I tell them there is a reason why that movie was that long. Like, Scorsese didn't just fucking, hey, let me fucking just 3 hours because, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you go back to watch Goodfellas, same thing. Mm-hmm. There is a story that is unveiling right in front of your eyes. And that's to me, that's the masterpiece of the film. You know what I'm saying? There's movies that you watch and within the first 20 minutes of the movie, you already know how it's going to fold out. With Scorsese films, it's kind of sort of the same thing. But what I like about his films is that somehow towards the middle or almost towards the end, he still manages to either twist it a little bit and it was like, oh, okay, I didn't see that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see that coming or some shit like that. Mm-hmm. But my point is that when you see these movies, like there is a story that is being told. The only long ass movie that I disagree with the length was the motherfucking Titanic. I mean, the bitch was gonna sink. Just, I mean, shit. They just took that long. Holy shit. Sorry about that. If y'all don't know what just happened, that shit blew up in my ears.
The hell? Was that the connection?
Yeah.
1 2 1 2.
Not there.
Son of a bitch.
It's not recording?
No, it was recording. Just the goddamn earpiece was off the whole time.
So, did we lose something?
I don't know. I'm probably going to have a lot of fun editing that, but...
If you can edit that piece yet, because it fucking blew my ear out. Kind of hurt a little bit. Because I was loud as fuck.
Yeah. That was sounding muted the whole time. And I'm sure it was loud as fuck on the recording. So, figure that out.
Can that be fixed, though?
No, I'm not. I'm saying the... All right. Never mind, man. Don't worry about it. It'll... Okay. The longer I think about it, the more I have a sneaking suspicion that Titanic wasn't really a movie that it
was just a long ass crime movie that just...
No, but here's the thing, man. I don't think it's kind of like the Abyss, where it's like, I don't think James Cameron really wanted to make this high-minded sci-fi movie about aliens that want to save humanity from nuclear. Like, nah, motherfucker. He wanted to make a movie in a submarine. That's what he wanted to do, and that's what he did, and he spent millions and almost killed some crew members. Same thing with Titanic. He was like, I'm gonna build a model that's like half the size. I'm just gonna go in the Mexican desert and build a fucking boat. And they were like, what? And he's like, no, it's cool. We'll make a bunch of money with chicks. They'll love this shit. And it did.
Yeah, like with the Titanic. Oh, I don't know, bro. Maybe it's because with the Titanic.
Look, I'm telling you, I'll show Kate Beckinsale's. Is it not Kate Beckinsale? What's her name?
No, it's Winston.
Yes.
Yes. What's her name? Winston's last name. What's her fucking first name? Is it Kate? No.
Damn it.
I can't remember her first name.
Yeah, she's a decent actress.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's like, hey, would you mind showing a titty?
Yeah, pretty much. Two? No, it's just yeah, dude. Like I was gonna say, I don't know if it's maybe because like I already knew what was gonna happen. Because I do remember when I first watched it, because that movie came out in 97, I think. When I watched it 2 years later, when I really like comprehended, okay, this is Titanic, so on and so forth, whatever. So when I watched that and that I was really paying attention, was when I'm telling you, it's like I was like an hour and a half into it. I was like, bro, just sink that. I remember literally saying it. I was like, bro, just sink the motherfucker already. We already know this.
Have you ever seen the movie 1900?
Sounds familiar.
It's
no. Is it the one that just came out? Oh no, that's 1947. Which is the one that
1917, I think, is the one you're thinking of. The World War I movie. Yeah. No. The movie 1900 is with you know who Tim Roth is, right?
No.
Blonde English dude. He was the guy that played Mr. Orange in Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay. With Martin Lawrence.
What?
Yes.
No, Reservoir Dogs, the Tarantino movie.
Isn't that with Martin Lawrence? Martin Lawrence and George Clooney and...
What? No, man. Reservoir Dogs was the one with Harvey Keitel. It's the one where they rob the jewelry store, and then like the end of the movie is like the undercover cop has been shot, but he's trying not to like let him know that he's an undercover cop. If I just spoiled this movie,
that wasn't with Martin Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence wasn't anywhere near that movie, man.
I'm getting the movie confused because where they the 6 dudes. One of them was Martin Lawrence, the other one was George Clooney, and they were riding bikes. And it's the same.
No, man.
No. Okay.
Fucking Wild Hogs or something like that.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Sorry about that.
Some fucking dad flick. I think fucking, what was it? Travolta was in that one, maybe. I
think so.
Anyway, yeah.
Wrong movie then.
Yeah, no. Tim, trying to think. He's done a bunch of other. Oh, he was the one that played in the Edward Norton Hulk movie.
Yeah.
He was the guy that they made into Abomination.
Perfect example.
What?
The Hulk movie?
Yeah.
Too long. Took way too fucking long to get to the action. And then the fucking action was short-lived.
I'm assuming you've seen the Ang Lee one from like 2001, right?
Yeah.
That's a weird movie.
Yeah. And I feel that both movies didn't do the Hulk justice. Like I feel they downplayed the character too much. Like if you go back to the comic book Hulk, Hulk was a fucking monster. No pun intended. I mean monster as in. I feel like both movies made the Hulk look like a rinky-dink.
Yeah, I think the only one that's really done a great job, and it's funny because it was funny, was the Thor movie that Taika Waititi did, Ragnarok.
Oh, okay.
Where like Hulk, where he's just Hulk the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
Like that one really worked for me. Like I think Ruffalo did
I need to go back and watch it again. Yeah.
Like because it's just him being like he's not just like Hulk mad. He's just like just this giant fucking like unstoppable force that they just feed food and pussy. I'm assuming pussy. Let's be honest. You don't give a guy a bed that big and not feed him hookers. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much. I agree.
Now they don't show you what they do with the bodies, but that's okay. It was PG-13. But what I was going to say was there's a movie called 1900 that is on a cruise ship. Takes place pretty much around the same time, like early 1900s. Actually starts at 1900. This kid gets abandoned on this luggage.
When was this movie made?
Maybe 2002, 2003.
Okay.
This kid gets abandoned. This orphan gets abandoned on this cruise liner, and he gets brought up by the guys down in the steam room, right? The kid just grows up his whole life on the ship, never steps foot off the ship. Turns out to be a piano prodigy. And like he sneaks up into the ballroom of the ship and he's playing the piano. And they're like, fuck it, we'll hire you. And he just lives out his entire life on this fucking ship. That's all it is. It's a piano player on a fucking boat. Movie's almost 3 hours long. All of it's good. Like, it's, when you talk about like a movie that, like, you know, Titanic
Sean,
is long.
The dialogue better be damn good in this fucking movie.
It really is.
Because if it's just,
let me put it this way, it makes again, Titanic is a movie that was only made because somebody wanted to give him money.
You know what other movie pissed me off? Phone Booth.
Okay.
Because before I say this, I get it. It's called Phone Booth. I get it. But it pissed me off because the whole movie was there. I don't know. And I get it. Like, if it's going to be like that, you got to get me with the fucking dialogue.
I do get you, man. There's a movie at probably, I'm going to go out on a limb just from like the arguments that we've had about certain movies, man. Probably wouldn't be your cup of tea. But there's a movie called the
Perfect example. Great fucking movie. I enjoyed from beginning to end. But because of the way it was set up, the dialogue was great. The acting was but
Debbie Does Dallas. No.
Schindler's List.
All right.
It's a good fucking. I mean, like, even if you take out the premise of, like, not the premise, but the realness of the movie, take that out, it was good, man. But the reason it was good was because, to me, was because I followed the dialogue, and when you pay attention, it like keeps you okay. Then and then you figure out that it's this industrialist that's just helping out people, and you know, he did a good thing. And then when you get to the end is what got me. When they did that little shit about actually putting the footage of like the graveyards of I was like,
right.
Fuck. Right. And then that little twist reminded me of the whole purpose of the movie. I was like, oh shit, yeah, fuck.
Schindler's List was a weird one because, like, that used to be like, they'd run that movie once a year down here on I forget what station. I think like 23, the NBC station, where they'd just block out like that whole like 3-4 hour thing, and run it like, you know, uncensored, commercial free, and all that. And it was always like, shit. All right, cool.
I like the scene in the movie where he's like, I think he's going on a business trip, or he's coming back from a big business trip, and he's bringing in a suitcase, and there's like a naked chick just there for no reason. Like, the whole time I was like, I like I said, I was paying attention to the story. I was paying attention to the scenes. I was following the plot. And then when it got to that part, I watched it and everything. And then everything made sense. Like, okay, they're doing this because of this. They're doing this because of that. And then it got to that scene, and I got past that scene. And I remember asking myself, I was like, what was the point of the naked chick there? Just was that just eye candy, or?
There's a lot of little details in that movie where they're making, like, Spielberg's like basically making reference to like a lot of other shit, man. Because, like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That is one of those few movies, again, like The Irishman. That's why I love, and I'll go on record and I will say this clearly. The Irishman, me personally, I loved. It was fucking beautiful. But it's the same thing. It's one of those movies where you need to pay attention to the dialogue, and you need to follow it from beginning to end, because if not, you'll get lost. But if I'm going to do that, I need the director and the writer to grab me, because if you don't grab me, you're going to lose me, and I'm going to be like, like the Titanic. I was like, bro, just sink this motherfucker already. But because the story in the Titanic, it was too, to me, it was too gooey. It was too.
It was a lot of implied, it was like longing looks and like
another perfect example. And I've never seen the till the end, because to me it was gonna be a waste of time. I was like, I already know what this shit is about. Not interested. The fucking The Notebook. Fucking bullshit ass long. I mean, it wasn't long, but like bullshit ass too long love storytelling shit. And it was one of those movies where, again, like the Titanic, I was like, bro, I get it. Like, let's move on. But then you find out that that's like the whole point of the movie. So that's all I'm saying. When you're trying to make one general big point on one whole movie, I need you to grab me with the story, the writing, and the directing. Like Schindler's List, like The Irishman, like The Hateful Eight, fucking beautiful. Like Django. And then let's not forget the most beautiful thing that put Django and The Hateful Eight over the top was the action. Because there was plenty of fucking action, you know what I'm saying? Like there was blood and there was shots and he even managed to throw in some comedic jabs in there. You know what I'm saying? And it was beautiful. Same thing with, it wasn't funny, but going back to the storytelling in Schindler's List, that's why I point and the whole point as into why I was mentioning this is because that's why I get really pissed off with people that were bitching about, the Irishman being too long. And I was like, and these are the same fucking people that watched the Titanic and they consider the Titanic a classic. Which I get it. Like, I understand why you would, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, let me throw this at you, man. If you watch Goodfellas, there are a lot of times where there are quiet conversations in that movie, and mainly because the voiceover, like the
narration.
Ray Liotta really sets you up for like the whole scene with what's his name, Harry, the pool guy who gets the fucking ice pick in the back of the head.
Yeah,
like that whole scene where like the dialogue's going on, nobody's being violent, but you can sense the danger,
the danger
in the background.
Yeah.
Whereas with The Irishman, there's a lot of those conversations that you don't quite understand. I mean, unless you're paying like razor sharp attention,
that's what I'm saying.
Don't even understand the danger that's involved.
But that's why that is a beautiful point that you point out, because that's what I tell people. Either if you're at some point in the movie past the 20 minutes, because I feel that Scorsese gives you 15 to 18 minutes from the beginning of the movie to jump on the saddle. If you don't jump on the saddle within 15 to 18, meaning that if you need to pay like razor sharp attention from the beginning to about 18 minutes so that you can understand how the story unfolds. If you jump off, before those 18 minutes from the beginning of the movie, there's going to be a lot, like I was telling my friend, when people start dying and they start killing motherfuckers, you're going to be like, why'd they kill him? What happened over here? Why? Because you didn't pay attention.
Okay, I'll say this. I think part of the problem is, did you ever watch that, damn it, and I can't remember the actor's name off the top of my head. Just the guy that played Zod in Man of Steel. I
didn't watch Man of Steel.
Okay,
is that that's the robot one, right?
No. Man of Steel was the first Zack Snyder Superman movie. The first one with Henry Cavill.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But you know the guy that played the villain, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember his name.
Right. You know.
Yeah, but I know.
Okay. He played. Damn it, and I can't remember the guy's actual name, but they did a loosely based biopic on the Iceman.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Okay.
Did you ever see it?
The movie?
Yeah.
I've seen clips.
I liked it.
Here's the thing.
I mean, it was okay. It's because I've seen the Netflix documentary too, and because I've seen the two, I think I saw. Fuck, I don't remember. I don't remember if I saw the movie or the documentary first, but because I've seen both, the movie kind of fucks with me. Because, again, it's one of those things where I keep thinking of the documentary because the documentary was also very vivid. So I was like,
Okay, it's a triple problem. One, I've seen all the interviews, the documentaries, and
no, but it's because there's one documentary on Netflix. I don't know if it's still there, but there was one specific documentary on Netflix where they really go into like.
Okay, but do they talk about how many of those stories that he told turned out to be complete and utter? It's kind of like the Irishman, where it's like, he told you he killed Jimmy Hoffa, but do you really believe that he killed Jimmy Hoffa? I mean, that's another issue with the Irishman. But
and it's funny how just fun fact, how his how can I say his death or whatever. He still remained disappeared. They never claimed him as dead until until not recently, but until very recent, because they have a rule or a law that says that you have to be disappeared for so many years before they can claim that you're
I think the family held out for like a long time before they tried to declare him dead, legally dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, dude, that's, what is it? 80% of murders. I mean, I think the number has gone up now, but only because the amount of murder has actually gone down, which is kind of weird. Anyway, long story short, kids, you could probably get away with one if you try. But what I was saying was, man, and actually up until now, I hadn't really considered that, but those two, maybe not in real life, but in the way that they're often portrayed, the dude from The Irishman, whose name I can't remember, and the Iceman, very similar in that they were hitmen who thought way more of themselves than they were actually worth.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is they're not likable characters. Like,
well, they're not supposed to be.
No, but I'm saying all right, think about like the movie There Will Be Blood.
Okay. That's kind of vague because I don't.
You haven't seen
it in a while.
Okay, let's go Scorsese again. Gangs of New York.
Okay.
Bill the Butcher is the villain. You know from the beginning that Bill the Butcher is the villain.
Yeah.
But fuck, you can't help but like the motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I see exactly what you're saying.
De Niro's character to be honest, I think Pesci's character in The Irishman was a much more likable character.
Yeah.
But De Niro's character is just unfucking likable. Like, he's just not a good person.
Yeah.
And there is no redeemable, like, even his kids don't fucking like him by the end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, it's hard to, because even before he starts being a killer and a gangster and shit, like, it just, like, the way De Niro plays him, he's just unfucking likable. Like, you don't want to care about this guy at all.
Yeah.
So it's hard to do so. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that does play a big role when you get 2.5 hours into a movie and you go, Jesus fucking Christ, I don't fucking care what happens to this guy. Like, will you just roll the fucking credits already? And I think that's a hard balance to pull off.
Well, maybe, but and it was also maybe because, like I said, I was very intrigued.
And I say that having liked the movie.
Yeah, like, and for the record, people, just so that y'all don't think that I'm bullshitting when I tell you that I love the movie, I've seen The Irishman in its entirety a full 5 times. The reason that I've seen it 5 times was the first one was for enjoyment, but I didn't enjoy it much because I was trying to catch on. And then the first time it was like, okay, I need to watch it again, but now I know what to watch for. So the second time I was watching to make sure that I didn't miss anything so that I could understand. Because it happened to me. Like 20 minutes into the movie, people started dying. And I was like, wait, hold on, wait a minute, what the fuck? So then I had to like, okay, let me rewind.
Dude, I completely forgot, but he uses a lot of that fucking shit. Like the whole scene when they first go through the restaurant, and it's just you getting those little subtitle cues, and it's like he died on his porch by a bomb. He died, you know, and you're going, am I supposed to be? Does this matter? Should I be paying attention? Should I be taking notes? Some motherfucker in a movie theater just jotting shit down. This will be on the test later.
Yeah, man. It was. Damn, and I forgot where I was going with it. I was gonna make a reference to the bad guy thing, the bad guy comment that you make. Again, going back to Scarface. I knew from the jump that Pacino was gonna be the villain in the movie, but throughout that whole movie, I was rooting for like the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And as I saw the movie again, the first time that I saw, and that's why I fell in love with it. The first time I saw the movie, I was rooting for him. And I was like, bro, this dude is like growing. He owns everything. He runs shit. And the first time, I'm not lying. I did not expect him to die. And then when he died, fuck. Really, dude? All that shit. And I'm not gonna lie, the first time, I was mad. I was like, all that shit, and you killed him. But then, that's what, like I said, even more so, it made me fall in love with the movie. Because, like I said, after watching it, like, fucking the first 10 times, my mind figured out that it shows you the rise, the reign, and the fall of, like, a fucking, like, drug lord. And up until that point in movies, you didn't really see that. You saw rise, reign, but you never ever really saw the actual fall of like an actual like drug lord and shit like that. I think about The Godfather, but not like they did with Scarface. You know what I'm saying? Like with Scarface, it was very vivid. It was very in your face. And you saw why, like he was.
Here's the thing, man. Like, you've seen all the Godfather movies, right?
Yeah.
I
could do. And a lot of people are gonna get mad when I say this, but I could do away with the third one.
Here's the thing. There are a lot of problems with that movie, and for one scene alone, the confession scene when he's talking to that priest that eventually becomes the Pope. That scene alone where he's talking about, I killed my brother. Like that, the first time I saw that, I was like I'd already seen the first two movies, and then seeing that, I was like, okay, I know that Francis Ford Coppola only made that movie because he was broke and he needed money. But you're still talking about top-notch talent working their ass off.
Yeah.
And then it
was the third movie, like acting.
I'll be honest. At this point, when Sophie Coppola gets shot at the end, I jump for joy. But that's something else. Look, she can direct her ass off, but she had no business being in front of a motherfucking camera ever.
It's funny how there's people that feel that same exact way about Tarantino when he came out in
what, Dust Till Dawn?
No. Yes, but no, he got more shit. Not necessarily that he got shit, but in my circle, people were talking shit. The other one, we were just talking about it. Desperado.
The opening scene. Yeah.
And I was like, bro, and then that's when my backfire, like my shot back at them. I was like, bro, that's a classic fucking joke, dude. Like, I kept referring back to,
not just like that, but joke. He's such a fucking like
he's an idiot. You know what I'm
saying?
Dude,
when he gets shot and he's like, no.
I just met this guy. But by the way, good shot. Good, Oh man, that shit was fucking hilarious. By the way, another one that
actually the one scene I can do without Tarantino is actually the one from Django. Like there's something about that Australian accent.
Oh, yes, I remember now. I remember.
Dude, you should have hired somebody else.
I was gonna say the other one that killed the role. And he damn near, I'm trying to boggle my head, and I want to say he did not have any dialogue in the movie, but murdered the role, was Danny Trejo in Desperado.
Yeah.
That shit I can't pick, and he was young as fuck, bro.
He actually wasn't that young. He looks a lot younger, but because he was a lot leaner.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, I think that's probably...
And he made that tattoo famous, bro. I've seen so many fucking Mexican gangsters with that tattoo ever since. I'll be honest with you. Before I got the angel, I contemplated that tattoo on my chest and shit. But
I just see you standing in front of the mirror going, I can learn how to throw a knife.
For real, man. But I was like, nah. And then, cause I was talking to my girlfriend at the time, cause she was into tattoos, and I've always been tattooed everywhere, since I was young, but I had just gotten, the tattoo in my stomach, and, for the people that don't know what I have in my stomach, I have a big ass, guardian angel, and I remember the first time that she saw me without a shirt, she wasn't too fond of the guardian angel, right? And she was like, but why? And I was telling her the story. I was like, you seen Desperado? And I was like, she was like, yes. And as soon as she said yes, she was like, no. and then I told her, I was like, it was either going to be that or the Virgin Mary. So she was like, stick with the angel. Stick with the angel.
I will admit, when the knife laws got changed a few years back, and it was like, you can carry whatever the fuck you want. It was the first thing I posted up, was that little gif of him walking down the street just opening the vest.
Yeah, man.
You ever tried to throw those? They're fucking hard.
I did, and I was not successful. I had an ex that threw a kitchen knife at me, and I don't know if this bitch had been practicing, but she managed to stick the knife in the. I mean, it didn't go all the way through.
Yeah,
but it was one of those wooden doors, and it stuck. And I just heard it. Like when I shut the door, I just heard the clap. And I was like, what the fuck? And I opened the door, and the knife was like, I was like, yeah, that was about the time I was like, maybe I should, walk out of this relationship here.
Why can't we be friends?
Man, but anyway.
But I was gonna say, man, like I really do believe if you look at Trejo there, and then go and watch, say, like American Me, he's even leaner in Desperado than he is in American Me.
Yeah.
Or wait.
Yeah.
It was American Me. I'm thinking of, right?
He also played a very, very good role in Con Air. I thought he killed him and Dave Chappelle. I don't know why people say that, and even he says it, but he's not that bad. Like people say that, like Chappelle was a horrible actor. I I've seen horrible fucking acting, but I love Chappelle's a great fucking comedian, one of the greatest to ever do it. I would never say he's a great actor, but he's not as bad as like people like. I think he played a good role in Con Air, and he absolutely murdered the role in Blue Streak. That shit, I really don't think anyone else could have played a better role. And do you remember his role in Blue Streak?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anybody could have played that specific role better than he did.
Maybe it was just a typecast thing, man. Like all the roles. I mean, I think the only time maybe it was actually because of Men in Tights. Like he was.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, I didn't like his role in Men in Tights.
I think it only works because of the Mel Brooks angle.
Yeah.
If that hadn't have been a Mel Brooks movie, that would have been way over the top. Like even in Blue Streak, I think he was. They had him going way too far over the top. But if you recall, that's the movie where he tells the story about like, okay, he's gonna break you out of jail by putting you in a dress, and he's like, nah, I'm not gonna do that.
No, I like one of my favorite things. One of my favorite things was when Martin Lawrence is explaining how much of a killer he is in Blue Streak. He doesn't say anything. He's just standing there, and he starts picking up his chin and whatever. And then he finally talks. And the first bullshit that comes out of his mouth, "Nah, baby, I'm bad. No, I'll take your lips off and kiss my ass." And Martin Lawrence is like, "I seen him do it." Yeah, but and Chappelle himself has made fun of his acting. Yeah, and he'll tell you himself. He's like, I'm not. When he was giving the Grammy speech, he was like, man, when he won, I think it was the first Grammy. He was like, man, it feels good, to be able to win a Grammy. I never thought. He said, I never thought I would win a Grammy. And the crowd stayed silent. He was like, come on, you've seen the movies I make.
I would love to see Chappelle directed by somebody who could actually. What I keep thinking is, man, like, did you ever watch the Louis the show Louis on FX?
I saw it. I saw a couple episodes, and now I regret not watching the whole thing.
Dude, it's really it's one of those you can go back because of how kind of disjointed there's not like a through storyline. There's a few details that travel over, but it's pretty much like episode of the week type. It's easy to go back and rewatch. I mean, even there's four seasons, I think.
Yeah.
But if you go back and watch the way that Louis C.K. directed a lot of the comics in that show, great one, man. He gave Robin Williams a role in that show that was there's almost no comedy in it. Like the characters are laughing in the scene, but it's tonally very, very fucking heavy, right?
Yeah.
I'd love to see what Chappelle could do with an actual role that he could chew into, man. Especially now that he's got a little more maturity on him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've heard, I haven't seen it, and maybe I should watch it, but I haven't seen the movie. I've heard that he played a great role in A Star Is Born. Have you ever seen it?
No.
A Star Is Born with what's his name?
Is that the one with fucking
the guy from The Hangover?
Yeah, and fucking hell, Lady Gaga.
Oh, she's in that?
She's the lead. Oh. It's him and her are the lead.
Oh shit, I didn't know that. What's his fucking name?
Yeah, I can't ever remember either.
Yeah, the guy from Limitless and him.
It was almost there, I swear.
Yeah,
it flashed right through my head and I went, ah.
Why do I keep wanting to say Brandon? It's not Brandon. Fucking Jesus Christ, it's gonna bother me.
I vaguely remember hearing that he'd done a role in that one, but I didn't watch it.
A Rolling what? Oh, in Star is Born.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, so I heard and his scene, because I think he only does 2 scenes. I think. The 2 scenes that he did were serious scenes. They weren't even like funny or comedic or whatever. And I heard that he killed those 2 scenes. But yeah, I mean, I haven't watched the movie, but I've heard that he did a good job. Right? But it was one of those roles, and even Chappelle says it. It was one of those roles that was handed to them. He basically, whatever the fuck his name is, personally went to him and he's like, I got this movie and I would love, and Chappelle didn't really want to do him because he's like, I'm not an actor, you know what I mean? But he said that he did him because it was him. He was like, we were at a party, so he was at a party that Chappelle threw. I think for one of the releases of his comedy, one of the specials that he had done. And then at that party, he came up and he's like, hey man, I have this movie that I'm working on. I'd love for you to, be in it. And I got this role. So he's like, I took it. And then Chappelle says that scene, because supposedly that scene was what made the movie blow up. So he's like, I never thought that move, like that those scenes were going to blow up like the way that they did or whatever. And he got in shape for that movie too. Motherfuckers, like, I seen clips from what I can remember, and he looks like big. But I mean, like, not big as in like fat. He looks like he hit the gym for whatever reason.
I'm gonna be on camera. I'm gonna be swole.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, coming up at the end of the last hour here, I managed to spend most of that one actually talking about movies, which we said we would.
I didn't plan to fucking talk 2 hours about movies, but it's always an entertaining. So I mean, at least for me. So next time maybe we'll do video games, even though I've been out of the video game scene for a long fucking time. But yeah, this is the part where we say goodbye and good night, or good morning, or depending on when the fuck you're watching this episode. Hey, and it feels good to be back on camera. Kind of. Me, but Sean and myself both, we got nicely shaved and shit. So, yeah. I almost forgot, yo. We still got tape in the tape recorder, right? All right.
Yeah, man. Put out the contacts and all that, man.
I got a couple shows coming up. My first shows of the year, yo. So, in almost a year. The last time I performed was March 20th. And I got shows coming up. Let me see. All right. So I got one on the February. Oh shit, I'm in January. I got a show coming up in February on the 26th in Alice. I believe it's called I think it's called I don't remember. I think it's called the 19th Hole Bar. I think. Go to my Instagram page at Freddy G. I believe the flyer is up already. And that's on the 26th. Then I got another one on the 6th of March. And that is going to be in beautiful Robstown, I believe. Wait, is it the 6th?
Don't you ever put beautiful and Robstown in the same sentence.
Yeah. That's why I did it. In beautiful Robstown, March the 6th. I don't remember the location. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. As soon as the flyer comes out, I'll post it up on the 6th. And again, friendly reminder, that on the 2nd the 2nd of April, the 2nd through the 4th, I will be headlining my first show out of state in Nebraska. Beautiful Nebraska. Nebraska is beautiful. It's cold as fuck, but it's beautiful. It's even cold like in the fucking like, what is it, the season? In the fall. It's still, I mean, it's north, I get it, but I'm not used to the cold states. So yeah, on the 2nd through the 4th, I will be headlining in Nebraska. So my Nebraska people, I know I got a couple of y'all following me on my social media. I will be out there. We gonna have a good time. Make sure you come out. By the way, I also want to throw it out there. The show for the 3rd of April has already been sold out. So no pressure.
He wasn't kidding. He was saying when he was on the phone when we were recording the last one that they sold out pretty quick. So.
Yeah. The show for the 3rd's already sold out. He's working on selling out the show for the 4th. I'm not working too hard on trying to sell them out because I ain't trying to put that much pressure on because I ain't gotten paid yet. Once I get paid, I mean, I don't give a shit. Like in the famous words of Dave Chappelle, I get paid for the attempt. So yeah. So I'm gonna be out there the 3rd the 2nd through the 4th in Nebraska. Show for the 3rd's already sold out. Make sure you come out that weekend. We're gonna have a good time. For everything else, still follow me on Instagram. I'm still just on there. Whenever I get on everything else, I will for sure let you know.
Okay. If you want to get in touch with me, hatfieldstandup@gmail.com, as well as Hatfield Stand Up on Facebook and Twitter. If you'd like to listen to the audio version of the podcast, you can go to shoutengine.com/bouncing brains, or you can listen on Stitcher or Spotify. You can find the video on YouTube. Search for Bouncing Brains. If you'd like to reach out and contact us, you can find us at bouncingbrainspodcast@gmail.com, as well as Bouncing Brains Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Folks, it's been fun. Thanks for coming.
And until next time, keep it tight.